Hi friends, welcome to today's video. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to do a video that was requested by a lovely subscriber. It's hits and misses from the L'Oreal brand. So that's what we're doing today. I've taken out my little storage organizing little bins that I get from Target. Each of the major drugstore brands has its own bin for their products to keep everything organized. So I took that bin out and I started doing my makeup. I will be inserting some demo clips throughout the video to show you some of these products in action. I'm not doing a full walkthrough in detail tutorial because I really want to talk about the products, but I also want to cut to a demo so you can see them. I've done a one brand already for L'Oreal, so I'm going to refer you to that if you're interested in seeing more from this brand, getting my thoughts. It's a bit of a lengthier video because I'm breaking down all the products from each of the categories, the formulas, giving you my thoughts of the product, whether I'm going to use it again, recommend it. So it's a nice in detail video on that one brand, so you can really find what you're looking for. I'm going to put the link to that video in the card section. They usually pop up just randomly throughout the video, and any other videos that I have demoing some of the newer products. They've released a couple new things in the last couple of months. I will also put those in the card section, just kind of randomly popped up throughout the video so that you can watch them and get some information. So I hope that by the end of this video, you will find what you're looking for and you will walk away with a good bit of knowledge to know whether or not you want to purchase any of these products for yourself. I'm going to share with you my hits first, and then we'll talk about the misses towards the end of the video. So if that sounds good, then just continue watching. I think it's best to start in the order of application for me personally. I always do my complexion first. So the first product that I want to highlight is a primer. This is the Prime Lab 24-Hour Pore Minimizing Primer. I have a couple of minis that I've gotten from Ulta Orders, free gift with purchases. If you spend a certain amount, you get these types of little small, little travel sizes, sample sizes, and I actually really like this primer, and I've talked about it in my one brand. I mentioned that when I run out of these, I will be buying it in the full size. This is a primer that helps blur out the skin. It's got a 1% AHA, LHA, BHA complex. So those are all acids. So BHA is your salicylic acid. Your LHA, AHAs are alpha hydroxy acid. So they tend to exfoliate the skin and kind of make the skin smoother and make the pores look more diffused. So it's kind of adding some skincare benefits into the primer. So I do like that. They do have other options within this Prime Lab range, so you can choose the primer that suits your needs best. But for me personally, I like things that are smoothing for pores. So I have to shout this out because I actually like it, and I like using it with the L'Oreal foundations. But I also like using it with other brands, whether it's other drugstore brands or other high-ends. These are really good primers, and I actually do see a difference with how my pores look more smooth, more blurred. So this is something that I would definitely recommend that you try. It's no secret that L'Oreal has a lot of foundation options to choose from, and it can be overwhelming if you're looking at their display, which is pretty huge. In most retailers that carry the L'Oreal brand, it's a lot. They take up a huge space, and they have options, more natural ones, some skin tints, some that have more full coverage, more long wear. They even have pressed powder foundations. So they have a lot of different options. So based off of what your needs are, you're going to choose something different. If you're looking for something that is more of a natural, very just simple, easy to use foundation, the Super Blendable True Match Foundation is really great. I have the shade N0.5 Neutral Light. This is one that I like to use when I'm mixing in with foundations that are a little bit dark. So today what I did was I took a little bit of this, about a pump worth, and I mixed it into the hyaluronic tinted serum, and I will demo this being applied. The shade that I ordered for this initially was 2-3, and it is a little dark, especially now that my tan is sort of fading. In the middle of summer, this was actually a good match for me. So I mixed the two together, and that's what I'm wearing today over the Prime Lab primer. So I do really like this foundation and serum skin tint. This, I feel like the serum tint has a lot more coverage than you would expect for a tint type of product. They tend to be more sheer, but this one actually does provide nice coverage. And both of these together wear well, and individually they both wear incredibly well throughout the day, especially in the summertime. So you've got some options. They also make some really nice sort of powder formulas as well. The Infallible Fresh Wear, it's a foundation in powder. So if you prefer to do something more of like a skin tint or a tinted SPF and a light layer of powder, and that's all you do for your base complexion, check out this powder. This does have some coverage. So I feel like this powder is nice because you can actually build it up and customize your coverage for the day. A light wash with a big fluffy brush, or apply it a little bit more intense with a more densely packed brush for more coverage. So this is one that I would definitely check out. I like using that as a sort of setting powder very lightly over my foundation. I didn't do that today. I don't always do that, but that's something that I like from this brand, so I wanted to kind of share that with you. I have two different options for concealer from L'Oreal. One has more skincare benefits, and then one is more full coverage, so it kind of depends on what my needs are. Today I'm going to demo the Radiant Serum Concealer from True Match. This is a 1.5 hyaluronic acid plus caffeine formula, so it's got some skincare benefits, and I wear the shade N2 Light. I also have the L'Oreal Full Coverage Infallible Concealer. Again, different sort of formulas. This one, the Infallible, has a more full coverage, so if you're looking for that, I would steer you in this direction. And I do like how this blends and looks on the skin as opposed to the corresponding foundation, which we'll get to in a moment. I prefer this concealer if I'm looking for a full coverage drugstore option. This is the one that I'm going to reach for. Today I'm going to demo the skincare benefit one, the Radiant Serum Concealer. This one I often refer to the applicator as like an iron because of the shape of it. It's very interesting and different. I like skincare benefits in my products. I feel like that's a bonus for me personally. But I like this one because I feel like it's that serum sort of texture and hydration, but it's not overly emollient. It sets well and it wears nicely, never looks heavy, and it's a nice sort of buildable formula. So I feel like a lot of people can get by with using this. If you have very extremely oily skin, I would probably suggest that you check out the full coverage option versus this one because this does say Radiant in the name, so it does have a little bit more moisture. But the Radiant in it is not an intense shimmer. And if you look really closely, you'll see very subtle. I mean, you have to get really close or use a magnifying glass to see the radiant finish in this. So that's why I like it, because it's not overly shimmery or super emollient looking on the skin or too dewy. It's just right. So I think that these two options are totally different. So based off of what your needs are, you've got some options to choose from. Let's talk blush and bronzer. L'Oreal makes a fantastic bronzer. It's the Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzer. Many different shades to choose from. This is a solid option from the drugstore, and it is also a matte finish, which I personally love. I like matte finishes with my blushes, and I typically go for that type of finish, and it's hard to find that at the drugstore, but L'Oreal nailed it. It's smooth, it's creamy, it blends beautifully. Same can be said for their blushes. I will show you some up-close shots of their Infallible blush line. So these are soft matte blushes, but these are very, very pigmented. You will see them, they look a little different from their other pressed blushes. They have that sort of pink magenta exterior on the outside of the compact. These are not for the faint of heart. I love these, but I have to be very careful. I'm gonna give them credit for giving us a beautiful formula. It's very similar to the qualities of the bronzer, that smooth, soft matte, that easy blendability, but these pack a punch. Very intense. And they also have other pressed options. These are the super blendable blushes. I also demoed this today for you on top of my other blush. So one of my top, this video would not be true if I did not talk about the liquid blushes. The Lumi Lay Liquid blushes, that's where it's at. These are incredible. They have 6 different options, 3 dewy finish ones, and then 3 shimmer ones. I don't typically go for shimmer blushes, so I didn't order those and I didn't try them. I have all of the dewy ones. I started off with one shade and I went back and bought the other 2. They're incredible. They're pigmented, but they blend well. I'm going to demo today the Dewy Bright Pink because that's the one that has me in a chokehold. Like seriously, I can't stop wearing this off camera. It is a beautiful formula. They truly have done something special here. It's a formula that's easy to work with. It's blendable. I am applying these typically over a set base, whether it's set with translucent powder or using a powder bronzer. And they never skip, never disturb what's underneath. I mean, they're just everything. So if you're looking for a blush, and if I had to give you an option, I would say give these a try. The dewiness that you see from this, it's not like super greasy, too oily, or too dewy and shiny. They do set down really nicely, but they do look like skin, and they're beautiful. So I love this formula 1000%. Let's quickly talk about their newer highlighters. These are the ones that came out earlier this past summer, the Infallible Highlighters. There's 2 shades. I bought both of them. the Icy Gold and the Champagne Glow. The Champagne Glow is the one that has the more kind of pinky, icy vibes. This one is a little bit more golden, so I typically go for the Champagne Glow. I am demoing this for you today, but these are bold. Absolutely incredible. If you love a good highlighter, look no further. This is an absolute must. If you wear highlighter, you need this. And of course, I have to throw in the True Match Lumi Glotion. We've seen this. This was all over social media. This has been out for years. I have the medium glow. This is great to use as a highlighter or a mix-in to a foundation, to skincare. You can use it as your primer to have like a pretty kind of glowy base. They have several different options and different skin tones. So the one that's medium is the one that I typically use because it has a touch of like a bronzy tone to it. They have darker shades. They even have some for more fair skin. You can't go wrong with these. These are just really great, very versatile. I'm sure you've seen this. You may even already use this and love this. If you're looking for a highlighting type of product in a cream formula that can be blended into other things, I would say check these out. But if you like powder highlighters, and you don't typically like to mix glowy stuff into your foundations and concealers or skincare products, I would say go for the powder highlighter, the pressed ones. Mascaras, I feel like the drugstore does mascara very well. Many brands have great options, but I think one of the best brands for me personally, in my experience, for mascara is L'Oreal. They have so many different options. I feel like every brand at the drugstore has like 15,000 different mascara options. And then you're wondering, which one should I choose? Well, I hope that this video is going to help clear that for you. The L'Oreal Panorama is one of their newer additions. It's great. All of the mascaras that I'm going to show you are going to give you length, volume, thickness, and separation. They literally check off every single box. This one gives me quite a bit of drama, and it's a beautiful look to the lashes. It's bold. So if you like that more kind of intense, like maybe a false lash effect to the lashes, the Panorama is going to do that. The OG Classic Telescopic Mascara, I'm demoing this for you today. This is incredible. One coat and you will be blown away. It's like a wow moment. This is an OG. This has been in their line of mascaras for a very, very long time. Again, the wand is a little bit different. It's a little bit thinner, more of a skinnier bristle type of applicator, but this extends the lashes, combs them from inner corner to outer corner, separates them beautifully, and it builds nicely. I would say 2 coats is the sweet spot with this one. And as I said, this is the one that I'm demoing because I'm wearing it today. I love this. But my absolute favorite for the most impact, the most length, drama, separation, thickness, make your lashes look like falsies, it's the Telescopic Lift Mascara. I pulled this one out of my empties. This I used entirely. It is dry. It won't give me the effect anymore. So that's why it sits in my empties collection of products. This is incredible. Like, out of all of them, I think this is the one that I would say start first if you like intense lashes. If you want something a little softer, a little bit more natural, then try the L'Oreal Telescopic or the Lash Paradise. I don't have that one, but the Lash Paradise in the pink tube, when that released, that was a product that I use so much. It's been on the market for maybe 5-6 years or so, and I have gone through at least 6 tubes of that. Like, it is absolutely incredible. That gives a more softer look, still defined, still length, volume, and thickness, but it's a bit softer than the Telescopic Lift and softer than what you would get from the Panorama. So you have 4 different options. And I'm telling you, L'Oreal mascaras are incredible, and they are very top quality, kind of like a high-end formula. Another huge hit for me personally are the shadow sticks. I'm a huge fan of a one and done. I'm going to demo these for you today. I've talked about these. I'm going to swatch them as well. The Lay Shadow Sticks, these are one of their newer products, again, from an earlier summer launch this year. These are absolutely incredible. The drugstore is lacking for good cream shadow sticks. If you love a good shadow stick, one and done, lazy liner, take these right across your lash line, soften it with your finger or brush, hit it with some mascara, boom, done. I look complete. These are creamy, blendable. You have a little bit of playtime, but they set down and they stay in place all day. They don't lose pigmentation. They don't kind of migrate into your crease and disappear. These are my favorite cream shadow sticks from the drugstore. And I have many shadow sticks. I have a huge collection that's probably a little overboard, but these are the standouts. These are the ones that I reach for often. I started off with one shade, which is the bronze, magnetic bronze. That's what I have on my lid today. I love a good bronze eye, so this was a no-brainer. And when I tried this, I went back and bought more. I even bought 2 of the same shade without even realizing it. The Brown Bliss is a classic staple, kind of warm, dark brown. This is where it's at. If you want a quick, easy, everyday eye look, you need these 2. Next, for my favorites from this line, I would have to give a shout out to the anti-feathering lip liners. I have a couple of shades. A nude one, the Worth It shade, which is what I'm wearing today, and I also picked up Worth It medium to try. It's a little bit of a deeper rose, so it's nice for different types of looks, but these other 2, the Natural and the Worth It, are the 2 shades that I reach for the most. The formula is creamy. Anti-feathering keeps it in place so it doesn't migrate outside of the lip line, and I feel like they do last a great bit throughout the day. They fade nicely, and I personally really enjoy this formula. It's smooth, it's creamy, it doesn't tug or pull the skin on the lips, and I like the fact that it's also a twist up automatic, so you don't have to sharpen it or worry about it. It's just a very small kind of point, and you can easily get a precise, crisp line. You can fill and use this as your main lip color, so these are actually really great and something I would definitely recommend that you check out. Let's talk about the Gloss and Balm. I feel like that's what they're called, Gloss and Balm or Balm and Lipstick, something like that, but these are beautiful. The Glow Paradise, the shade that I have is Nude Heaven number 130, and that's what I'm wearing today over the Worth It lip liner. These give you the pigment of a lipstick, but the feel of a balm with a touch of a kind of sheen to the lips where it looks like it's kind of glossy, but it's not super glossy and wet looking like a typical straight up gloss. There is a bit of a sheen, which makes it look really pretty on the lips. I like how comfortable and smooth these are. These do remind me a lot of a YSL type of lip product that feels like a balmy, soft, comfortable lipstick, but it has some color to it. The Nude Heaven, I feel like, is a pretty color that I can use with any different eye look, whether it's something like today or something a little bit more intense, something softer, maybe no eyeshadow for the day. And it's a nice, classic, everyday, my lips but better type of shade. And as I said before, I'm mixing this today with the Worth It lip liner. So these are the 2 for today's lip, and I love it. Super comfortable. Lots of different shades, and I love this formula, and I want more. The 3-second setting mist is absolutely worth checking out. I am almost out of mine, and this is a new product launch from the L'Oreal line. I've had mine for maybe a month, a little over a month possibly, and I definitely need to reorder another one. This actually truly does work. I don't wear my makeup for 36 hours as it claims to sort of lock everything into place, but this truly feels like hairspray for the face. And it truly works. Like, this is the best setting spray from the drugstore. I said it. This is the best. If you're looking for something that locks your makeup in place all day long, where your makeup isn't budging, this is what you need. This truly does work. I have tons of setting sprays, high-end, and a lot of drugstore setting sprays, and nothing compares to this. This is it. As you probably have already gathered watching this video, if you've gotten to this point, you probably realized that I have a lot of favorites, a lot of hits from this line. And I've got to say, their products are solid. They're great formulas, and I have rarely been disappointed with the brand's products. But there are a few that are just kind of meh, so-so, and then there's one that just does not vibe very well with me, and I'm going to share those with you. So this is the section of L'Oreal misses. Unfortunately, it does happen from time to time. We try lots of things, we love things, we not so much like other things, we dislike things, and then some things just don't work out for us, and that's okay. So this is going to be the 4 products that I do not really particularly care for. They're not terrible, bad products, but because I don't really care for them that much, you won't hear me recommending them for you to try unless you specifically are looking for something that this product offers. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's start off with the Voluminous Original Mascara. This is a little mini, again, a free gift with purchase type of product from the Ulta site. I have tried this in full size. This was something that was raved about, and it still is in the beauty community. I remember seeing this when beauty magazines were a thing, and I used to get the subscriptions at my home, and this was something that was always featured as a great staple mascara at the drugstore. They've probably sold millions of these, and I just don't get the vibe that I'm looking for in my lashes. I don't get the length, the volume, the thickness that I'm looking for. It's very soft, very natural. So if you are looking for something that's a very natural look to your lashes, where it just kind of gives you a thin amount of product where it kind of fans them out, but it looks like there's not much on your lashes, I think you will benefit from this. But if you like drama, thickness, and lots of va-va-voom for the lashes, I would recommend the other ones that I shared in the beginning of this video that are just completely night and day difference from this formula. So it's not a terrible formula. I feel like it's best for someone who wants a more natural look to the lashes. Next up is the Infallible Brows. This is a tinted brow volumizing mascara. This shade that I picked up was deep brunette, or dark brunette, sorry, dark brunette. And I bought this at Target, and I like the applicator. I like the little fibers to volumize and thicken the brows. I do not like doing my brows. I have a lot of sparseness, a lot of thinness, bald spots, so I do use quite a bit of product sometimes. Today I only used one product from L'Oreal, and it's the Brow Stylist, and that's all I have, and it's great. But I also really like using tinted brow gels to kind of fill in and maybe start my brow look with a brow gel that has some color, and then kind of spot fill in with a pencil or a brow pen. This unfortunately was just incredibly too dark for me. Like, so much pigment came off of this that I wasn't prepared for it. And it's also quite wet, and I just feel like it doesn't grip very well. So for me, I feel like the tone of it, because it's so dark, kind of turns me off of it. It's not, like I said, these products are not like absolutely terrible. It's just this is not my favorite. So I don't recommend the volumizing brow mascaras from L'Oreal. This may change if I decide to try it again. Maybe they come out with a new reformulation, maybe try a different shade. I might have a better experience with it, but the formula itself is just a little too wet for my preference. I like it to be a little bit drier, and again, the shade is just not right for me. So this is unfortunately a miss. Next are the Infallible Matte Lip products. These are, again, fairly new ones. This shade specifically is number 600 First Kiss. This is a really pretty shade. And I will show you the applicator and I will swatch it for you. Do you see how pigmented this is? It's a really pretty, like, soft matte finish, and the shade is a pretty soft rose shade with a bit of a kind of more pink base to it. And I do really like that, and sometimes in different lightings you see a hint of like mauviness. I don't particularly care for these. I tried it because I wanted to try their new colors, new additions to this line, but I don't particularly care for a matte lip, and I do feel like these are just a tad drying. So for me personally, I wouldn't recommend the L'Oreal liquid lipsticks unless you don't mind the dry kind of feel to the lips, which is a typical liquid lip aspect. It's not like this is a bad product. It's just that I don't really care for the matte lips. So this for me was a miss. And I honestly haven't used it much since I bought that, just because it is too matte for my preference. And it doesn't feel as comfortable on my lips as balms and glosses, obviously, and regular satin cream lipsticks. So for me to make this work, I do have to mix it. So for me, I would have to categorize that as a miss personally. And the last product is the Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. I tried this. A subscriber had asked for me to demo this and share my thoughts on it, and I wanted to do that for her. So I went out and I bought the foundation. I bought the shade 405 Porcelain. So the shade is a little light. I wanted to like this foundation because it has a lot of great reviews online. It has good coverage. It also includes an SPF of 25. I just feel like this foundation just didn't blend very well. It made my skin look very, very dry. And I do have from time to time some dryness, some dry patches. But this foundation for me was incredibly difficult to work with. And I just didn't really like it. I felt like it was just too drying on the skin. So for me, with my combo to oily skin, I feel like it's not the best option. I think this is best suited for someone who has oily skin or very oily skin that needs something that wears well and has a more long wear claim. I think you will enjoy that. But just for me, I didn't vibe very well, so that's why I'm including this foundation in the misses category for this brand. And that, my friends, is the end of this video. Those are my hits and misses for L'Oreal. I think by now you gathered that I really love this brand, and I feel like I've had a lot of positive experiences with their formulas and their products. It's a solid one to choose from at the drugstore, and I hope that this video was helpful if you're looking at their brand, what products to try. I hope that this video gave you some ideas and where to start. The misses are products that didn't work for me, and if you love them, then continue using them. But for me, they just didn't vibe very well, and out of everything that I tried, to have only 4 things not work out, that's impressive. I've got to say it. I've got to hand it to them. They are great products, formulas, packaging, A to Z. I feel like they are some of the best at the drugstore. Thanks for being here, for watching. If you want to see hits and misses from a different brand, please let me know in the comment section. Drop me the next brand you want to see. Take care, you guys, and I will catch you very soon. Bye-bye.